What's going on, guys? Tom Lutner here, and welcome back to A&E Podcast. Today we have an amazing interview with Division II superstar Ronnie Silva. We get to see what his life is like on the court and what his life is like off the court in college. We also have a great intro song by AnthonyxJohn. If you guys like lyricists, definitely check him out. His link will be down low in the description if you want to listen to any of his music or check him out on social media platforms. Cannot wait to get into the interview, and here we go, guys.
I've been talking to this college girl at only on to first year, and she already forgot about her college work. Her father served her, accused of being party first. She do it at her own pace, she ain't got no mercy for him. She said on this credit card she purchased bottles merch because she can't afford them, and she also smoking a lot of perp. AnthonyxJohn is the saint of God to her, cause I get the J's, now we stony, so I call her Brooke. And her body is so cold, it's like soon he getting in the Buffalo. She a hoe frustrated with a guy at home. She lied to you, so she watch what she posts. It makes sense that she lying. You go to Malloy and she get the D2, but this not a sport. In my own admission, I didn't even court her to land, or a hunter just hit her in college and dorms. I just knew I loved it in there. I didn't even tour.
What's going on, guys? Tom Lutner back here from A&E Podcast. I'm here with Ronnie Silva. Ronnie, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Hello, I'm Ronnie Silva, senior here at Adelphi. I currently play on the men's basketball team, and it's a pleasure to be here, brother. Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. So I know that we had done interviews prior years when we were both freshmen, and you said that soccer was your first sport, which is super interesting, that you had played soccer, then go to start playing basketball. And your career is what I like to call Cinderella story, at your height, which isn't the tallest for a basketball player. I've been 5'9", I believe.
Yes, 5'9".
Exactly. People wouldn't think that you would be the talented player that you are, which is amazing. So going back to your high school years, I know that you were named captain your senior year. You were all-state second team, and you also scored 1,000 points, which you actually went on to do at Adelphi as well, which we'll get into. So just speak on your high school career, what it was like a little bit in high school before Adelphi, and how you actually got to Adelphi.
Yes. So high school, for me, it was fun. I had two different stages in high school. So I had my public school stage where I played for 3 years from freshman up all the way till junior year. And then I went to a prep school named Bradford Christian Academy in Massachusetts, playing in the New England Prep League. Right after my junior year at public high school, I reclassified, did a repeat year for athletics, and was able to do 2 more years over there at BCA. So, but high school for me was just more about like playing with my friends, playing with my AAU teammates, and it was just a lot of fun. Going back to my hometown, I'm from Nashua, New Hampshire. Not close to the Long Island area out here near Delphi, but back over there, it was just so much fun playing high school basketball with the kids you grew up with, right? Kids that I grew up with playing at the Boys and Girls Club or the YMCA leagues, all the, public recreational leagues. We grew up together, and then we ended up playing varsity and having those rivalry games, those high school crowds that were just insane. Like that was what I remember most. Just having that fun with my friends, who were my teammates, as well as the coaches from my public high school, Coach Lane, Coach Gaudreau. Those guys taught me a lot, as a young high school kid with basketball and life. And so that was my public high school career from freshman to junior year. And then I repeat my junior year and went to Bradford Christian Academy in Haverhill, Massachusetts. And that was a great experience in itself, where I was playing with my AAU teammates then, and just playing in one of the better high school leagues, I feel like, in the country, which is the NEPSAC, New England Prep School League. So playing against a lot of the top D1 guys, just great nationally ranked players. And it was just a great experience on that end for me as well. So high school was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I guess that's what we all hope high school is, especially when we're playing sports. Do you think that jump, so when you had transferred your junior year, do you think that helped you when it came to college, when you had to, adapt to a new environment, especially playing a sport in college, all new teammates, you're going on to do something that you haven't done yet at the level you haven't played at yet? Do you think that transfer, do you think that helped you when it came to college?
100% helped me. Getting into going from the public high school setting and environment into a prep school setting environment. It kind of what would you say? It helped me progress into college and get used to like the college environment with the prep school, right? So I started to see how classes was kind of spaced out differently than, you know, your typical high school schedule. And just the overall like education aspect of it was different for me and helped transition for the college level. So I would say yes, it definitely helped prepare me
All right.
for that.
Yeah, that's another thing that I think everybody, especially younger kids right now, one thing that's hard to do is to get your mind straight and set up when you're going to college. You know, you're going on to a new stage in life. You're not with the people that you're comfortable with anymore. So that's, you know, I guess that obviously in my mind, I would expect that to help somebody going from one high school to another right before you're about to graduate, and then coming to a new school where you're playing with different people now for the last 5 years of your life. Before we go on to talk about your so far successful career at Adelphi, one quick question I have: is there anything that you have done pregame and postgame, like routines that you have held throughout high school that still to this day you hold out?
So for pregame, postgame, to me personally, I wouldn't say I'm too much of a superstitious person. You know, I know people have their routines. If they listen to music, they do a certain thing that they have to do before a game or whatever the case may be. But if I were to say something that I catch myself doing routinely, I always pray before a game. Obviously, make sure I eat something good, eat something healthy before the game, get stretched out. And to me, it varies for pregame, getting into the warm up for the game. Some days I might want to like rest more my body. Some days I might want to stretch more, or some days I might want to go get more shots up pregame. So for me, it really depends on like listening to my body and what I feel like in that moment for that game to prepare, or if I got to listen to a certain vibe for music, right? That wants to get me hype or wants to get me calm or whatever the case may be. It definitely depends on that day. For me, I don't try to be superstitious, but that would be my pregame routine. And postgame, you know, just eat, chill, and relax, I would say after that.
All right, that's interesting. Yeah, I know when I played in high school, you know, I was very superstitious. I would do the same routine every day, get the same kind of food before a game, listen to the same kind of music. But obviously what you have done, it works for you. Again, you're a very successful
Right.
player. We're gonna get into that right now. So I'm gonna go year by year because I was there for actually every year to watch you play of Adelphi, except for this year. Obviously, I'm done. So your first year, you were named All Rookie of the Week 6 times throughout the season. You were the ECAC Rookie of the Month twice. You scored in double figures 4 of your first 5 college games, which you actually did not start in, which I found out through Adelphi's website, which is another interesting thing because once you got your starting spot, you kept that spot until even this year, as you're a senior. You led the team in scoring with 15.1 points per game your rookie year. Your freshman year, which is your rookie year, you won the Rookie of the Year, and you were the league leader in 3-point percentage, where you shot 46.7% from 3, which was the best on the team as well. So talk about your freshman year coming into the new school. Obviously, you did your thing. You know, you led the league in 3-point percentage, which is very hard to do, especially at the collegiate level. So, like, talk about your freshman year, what it was like to adapt to Adelphi. Obviously, we've had great teams for a Division II program. Still to this day, we do. So what was it like to play with new people and do what you did and prove that you're the basketball player that they recruited?
Oh man, my freshman year, it was a blast and just like an honor, you know, to just play with that team. Going into my freshman year, you know, the mentality was I was seeing the guys that were on the team that were returning, right? You had Connor McGinnis, who was the senior starting point guard, who right now holds the assist record for Adelphi men's basketball in the history books. You know, one of the best playmakers, facilitators, you know, I've seen so far playing throughout the college level. I had Jack Laffey, senior, who was a great wing shooter that, just was a great leader, was a great motivator for me coming in my freshman year, and as well as Nick Cambio, the other senior, who was our big man, who led I don't know if it was a league region. He led it in field goal percentage.
Okay.
Was one of the more solid, fundamentally sound bigs that I've ever played with. And everybody that I came in with that year, with my freshman year, with my freshmen, or the people that were also upperclassmen, they helped me so much, where from the learning aspect of basketball, I was able to learn on the fly, right? And my mentality was just to learn as much as possible from those guys. From jumping from the high school to the college level, I noticed like the speed of the game was different. The physicality of the game was different. So one thing with me is like, try to pick their brains as much as possible, get into work as much as possible with my assistant coaches at the time, Coach Moses, Scott Moses, Coach Stan, and obviously Coach Duke at the head, just making sure that I was prepared and knowing what my role was, and that was it from there. Just learning from them, and they embraced me, and I just appreciate them and everybody involved with that team my freshman year. I appreciate all of them.
Yeah, and I gotta ask, so how were your teammates when it came to things like winning the award that you had won? So you had won the Rookie of the Year. How were your teammates when you had won the award, something like that big, especially as a freshman?
Oh man, they were happy for me. They were proud of me, which I appreciate them so much, because I look at every teammate that I played with from my freshman year all the way until now. Like it's more than basketball with me. It's like those are my brothers. Like those connections and those people that you meet in your life through this sport of basketball, like that holds value and holds ground to me. So, them being supportive of me, and obviously, vice versa, being supportive of them and their basketball career and their life, that meant a lot to me. So that was great. That was great for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. And again, right after that, you had went on to achieve a lot more than just being the Rookie of the Year. So you had actually led the team in assists your second year. You had 147 assists. You led the team in points with an average of 21.6, which is a huge jump from your freshman year. And you actually became the 38th player in Adelphi history to reach 1,000 points. So talk about that. What was that like? Obviously, that's huge to do in high school. I know a lot of high school players do that in high school and they don't get the opportunity to do so in college. So by your second year, you're reaching something that only 38 players in the history of the college have done. So speak on, what was that like? What was the feeling when you hit the final shot and you're like, that's, that was it. Like that's history now. Like I'm in the books.
Man, that was just a unreal feeling. I know at the time with the 1,000 point mark, I didn't know it was 1,000 points until after the game. I was just more focused on trying to win the game. And I remember it was the game against New Haven up there, and we ended up losing that game. So it was like, it was bittersweet. I wanted to win. It was good. I got the 1,000 points, but we lost. So, to me, it's about winning. And but I mean, in like looking back at it, it was just it was an honor to know that with this rich history and culture that we have here in Delphi men's basketball history, that I was able to accomplish something like that. And that sophomore year was great for me, because I appreciate the coaches, given that experience of me, letting me like make mistakes and learn as much as possible, right? So with me jumping from my freshman role going into sophomore, where I'm being the primary creator and being the leader of the offense and being a lead point guard, I had to learn a lot on the fly,
Okay.
and it was a big jump for me. But I appreciate the coaches and my teammates there just supporting me, encouraging me, and I just want to like carry over from freshman year, learn as much as possible. And it was a great experience, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then, so going on to your next year, which was the year right before COVID, COVID had hit, and so which actually gave you your current year. So that year, you averaged 20.4 points per game, 2.7 rebounds per game, and 3.2 assists. You also scored a career high of 42 points. Before we talk about that season, though, I'm going to go ahead and give everybody a brief, roundup of what your career has been. So in college, you have 19 collegiate awards when it comes to things like Rookie of the Year, all conference players, all conference honorable mentions, things like that. I have a whole list here of all 19 awards, and to see some of the things that you have done, especially, and this is again at the height that you're at a Division II level, to see the amount of awards and what you have achieved is truly amazing. Again, I've known you, so I have talked to you. You're insanely respectful off the court, which is why I want to take the conversation off the court for a second. I know that you guys as basketball players, as a team, are very close, especially right now. You guys have new kids coming in, but I know that you guys do promote Morgan's Message a lot, which for the people that don't know, Morgan's Message is a message to deal with athletes' mental health, especially in school. There is a lot of athletes that unfortunately do, commit suicide because they are too stressed out. So speak on that a little bit. What's it like? How do you guys handle that? Again, I know you guys are very close as a team, and I know you guys are huge when it comes to promoting that. So speak on that a little bit. What's it like when you have to promote, people's mental health awareness while doing it yourself?
I think it's vital. I think it's important to promote that and having the overall awareness of mental health of student athletes. And that's why I joined Morgan's Message. It started with my teammate, Andrew Delaney, educating me on the program of Morgan's Message and the organization and what they stood for. And I was all in from the jump, because I feel like as a student athlete, just being aware of obviously the daily grind and the things that come with it, with the pressure to win and all of that, sometimes you lose perspective on, there's what you came here for to perform, but also the life aspect, right? And I think with the mental health awareness of that, we can all realize that, like, with the sport, that we're passionate about and we put in the work for it to get to this point to play in college, we also got to make sure we're taking care of ourselves mentally, being there supportively, like advocating for other athletes, that we're supportive of each other through those tough times, and that we're all understanding of each other and being aware of the things that trigger the mental health or whatever the case may be. So, excuse me, the light just went off. So, it's motion sensor. Right. So we good now. But, I think, like I said, it's just important. And I am, honored to be a part of being an ambassador of something like Morgan's Message, because it just shows like the more of the family environment that we have, not just from like Adelphi and from college sport, but just all college sports nationally, with mental health and support of each other as student athletes. So it's a blessing, and I'm grateful to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Again, that's something that, a lot of people look at and take into consideration when you're going forward, not only with sports, but with life in general. It's something it's a big role to fill when you're an ambassador for something like that, especially when people find out the real meaning of it, which is amazing. So
yes, sir.
Continuing to talk about like off the court. So you were an academic All-American third team in 2020. So how do you balance things when it comes to school and, working out, not only game days, not only practices, but every day? Whenever I was playing basketball, I would see you in the gym. Even this past week, I came back to help out the club team, and I saw you getting shots up with the newcomer to the team. And then I saw you by yourself getting shots up. So how do you balance academics and basketball at the same time?
Oh man, I owe all that to my mother, right? She instilled that me in a young age that, you can do the basketball and I'm going to support you through that, but it's school first, right? And, you go get, have fun with your friends, go play basketball, have the practices, have the games, but, you get your homework first. You get your homework in first. So like, I owe that all to, the morals and the teachings that my mother taught me at a young kid, work ethic, and seeing that firsthand from my mother. It driven me that, having the opportunity to play sports, play basketball, I got to make sure that, also I got to get an education. and education is first. So, those habits driven in through me from a young kid, it carries over into the college environment to make sure that, while I'm out here with basketball and, with college, it comes with the freedom, right? Like, you're able to go out and socialize and have fun and see people, but like, it's also making sure that you get the work done. So I make sure I get my work done, get my homework in, making sure I'm on time, all those little things, little habits, I feel like, and I think it's vital as a student athlete too. You get those habits from in the classroom where you're doing your work, you're on time and stuff like that. And it translates over to the court where you have good habits on the court as well. So, and it's a lot of work, but it could be like, those, tough times with academics and getting all the workload of college while balancing out sports. But if you just put in the effort, I feel like it'll be worth it in the end.
Yeah, see, that's awesome because I've actually never heard anybody say that. Like the little habits you pick up in the classroom actually go towards sports.
Yes, sir.
Like what you were saying, in college you have the freedom, and people don't understand when you go to college you have the freedom to do whatever you want. Like when you're
whatever,
especially when you're dorming, you could not go to class if you don't want to.
Roam around,
that's awesome. Again, college, it's hard to balance. I could see exactly where you're coming from when you say it's hard to balance things like that. But moving forward, I probably have like 3 more questions before we wrap this up. So the first question I have is, who inspired you when it came to sports, whether it be somebody professional, somebody in your household? Who was like your inspiration to start playing basketball specifically?
Man, basketball with me was something just the people around me that motivated me to play basketball, and obviously people that I love watching play. Like, for example, I still remember as a kid watching YouTube videos of like Allen Iverson, Kobe, Steve Nash, and all those guys like in the NBA, and wanting just to just do their moves, implement their moves in my own workout, try to work on those moves on my own as a kid. And with the people around me also, the people around me inspire me too. Like my mother, seeing her being an athlete in Brazil, coming from Brazil. She was a volleyball player, a handball player, a soccer player. Okay. That inspired me to go into the sport world, try to be an athlete and play basketball. My dad was also super supportive of me when I was playing basketball. He made sure he got the hoop up for me, and was able to play in the backyard and stuff like that. And just the people around me in my life inspired me as well. Going from coaches from middle school, like my middle school coach, Coach Conley, my high school coaches, Coach Lane, and my AAU coach, my mentor, mentors is my AAU coach, TJ Thompson, and his wife, Lima Thompson. Them giving me a chance to play AAU basketball and travel and get an opportunity to get a scholarship. The people around me, inspire me to just keep going and keep pushing. So, that's who gives me the drive, I say.
Yeah. With that being said, so you're going on what could be your last year of college basketball. You obviously have the leadership role now as a senior, one of the oldest guys on the team, one of the better guys on the team. So how do you deal with that leadership role? What do you tell the incoming freshmen, the younger kids on the team, especially dealing with, obviously this year you guys had a lot of transfers. You guys had a lot of kids that left, so you're losing some of your 3 or your 5 starters from last year. So how do you deal with being the leader of the team? What do you say to the guys, especially when, let's say you guys are in like a little bit of a drought, bad practices. What do you do as the leader in that role?
Yeah, well, first, it's kind of crazy just seeing that now I went from the young freshman, and now I got to be this old dude now. And it's like, it's so crazy just to even think about how time flies by so fast, man, especially in college. So like, just being the young guy trying to soak up all the knowledge as much as possible. And now I got to carry on the tradition and now try to, implement that culture with the with the new guys, I just had to say that like that experience is crazy in itself. You know, and it's crazy not just thinking about that, how time is, is flown by so fast. But what I try to implement with the guys is just habits, and it's a day-to-day process, right?
Okay.
With the season, it's gonna have its highs and lows. It's gonna have its emotions, its wins, its losses, good days, bad days, whatever the case may be. But it's more of building a culture of accountability, right? And just making sure that we're on point with our habits every day, right? Like this is an opportunity, having a scholarship or being a part of a college basketball program like this, rich in its tradition, and we got to carry that on, and we gotta make sure that everything that we're doing, is for the team, and we doing it for ourselves to win, right? Because we win. If we win, we all win, and we all get to cherish that moment together. So and you can't win without putting in the work.
Yeah.
You can't win without putting in the work. So it's making sure we have a work first mentality. We're pushing each other to be great, and that's all. And it just takes that buy-in, that accountability, that drive, that passion each day to get better for us, to be not even better basketball players, right? But also to be leaders in our life, and that's what I try to implement with the guys, each day, just working hard towards being great.
Yeah. Sandy, there's so much to learn from a leader like you. Again, you've accomplished so many things that people would probably look at you and say you couldn't do, especially at a younger age. So it's amazing. So with that being said, it leads me to my last thing. So obviously you've achieved so much. People consider you a superstar at the school. So you do have a lot to teach, especially the younger generations. So the last thing I ask is, what would you tell the younger generations about kids trying to go to college to play sports, not only basketball? What's your advice to those kids that want to grow up, be the superstar of the school? Like you said, going from that little freshman to now being the leader of your team. What would be your advice to those generations?
And my advice to the younger generations, I would say, is to just run your own race, right? Focus on your own story, right? And I think with today's society, and you can see with the social media aspect, or just, I feel like the way the environment is nowadays with generations continuing to evolve, I would say, it's easy to try to compare yourself to another person's success or whatever the case may be, and you want that success, but you're in this situation. But I think it's just important to run your own race and work as hard as you can, and focus on your own story, and write your own story, right? And not worry about what other people got to say or what other people are doing. Just focus on your dreams and what you want to accomplish, get into this college level, just making sure you put in the work, and also having the right circle around you, right? And, we talk about mental health, right? We talk about like emotional health, physically making sure you're healthy, right? But we also talk about, people don't talk about environmental health. Right. And what I mean by environmental health is the circle around you, the people that you affiliate yourself with and you want around you that helps you grow. Right. So making sure that you got the right circle around you that is helping you grow as a person and at your craft, making sure you got a right circle, you running your own race, and putting in the work. Right. That would be number 3 right there, putting in the work. You can't wish or hope to do something without having the work put in. So I would say those 3 things right there, right? Running your own race, focusing on yourself, having the right circle around you, and then putting in the work.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. Well, I think that's all the time we have today. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming and talking. I can't wait to see you play this year. Again, if it is your last year, I'm going to be as many games as I can. And again, to see you evolve from the player that you were as a freshman to the leader that you are now is amazing, man. So thank you so much for coming in.
Yo, Tom, thank you for having me, dude. You know, I'm obviously gonna see you later, catch up with you, but I just want to say, like, it's an honor for me to do this with you, and the platform that you're having right now with the podcast. Like, this is incredible, man. And like, it's promoting, it's getting people's stories out there. And I think what you're doing is great. And it's just like, you know, all my salute to you, respect to you, my brother. You know what I mean? Thank you for having me on here, man. Appreciate that.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man.
All right, man.
Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. If you like this week's video, leave a like and a subscription. If you like interviews like this, please stay tuned because we have more interviews coming up real soon in the next coming weeks. Thank you guys for checking it out, and I hope to see you guys soon.
I've been talking to this college girl at only on to first year, and she already forgot about her college work. Her father served her accused of being party first. She do it at her own pace, she ain't got no mercy for him. She said on his credit card she purchased bottles merch because she can't afford them, and she also smoke a lot of perp. AnthonyxJohn is the saint of God to her, cause I get the J's, now we stony, so I call her Brooke. And her body is so old, it's like soon he getting in the buffalo. She a hoe frustrated with a guy at home, she lied to you, so she watch what she posts. It makes sense that she lying, you go to Malloy and she get the D2, but this not a sport. To my own admission, I didn't even court her to land, or a hunter just hit her in college and dorms. I just knew I loved it in there, I didn't even tour, no.